Alright, boys and girls, we're going to go ahead and do Dark Souls, but here's a twist. I'm not playing it. This is the Kendo edition. Ken is going to be playing Dark Souls because he's good at it, and I'm very bad at it. So this is Dark Souls Remastered. Ken, what's the difference between the remastered version compared to the original?
So there's a lot of technical improvements that could have been patched in for free, but you know, let's just make a new version to make more money.
Wow, that's... Do you think that's Square Enix's fault? No, no, Bandai Namco. They published this, right?
You know, it's publishers always want more money, but it is what it is. I'm fine with it because it released a more stable product and it's all in one because it included the DLC they launched after the game came out. So it's all in one package. They've improved on a lot of issues that the game had mechanically.
But you're using a controller even though you're playing on PC. Why is that?
Because the original PC version, I put that in air quotes, for Dark Souls was just a straight port from the console, and the controls are ass.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really turned me off of this game, because I really hated the PC key bindings. But let's not touch on that too much. Let's go ahead and get the game going. I'm going to have a lot of questions for you here, Ken, because I never actually finished this. Alright, so what kind of build are you going to go for here?
So I'm going to do what is referenced as a quality build, which is where you invest an equal amount in your strength and dexterity attribute, so that you can use, I guess, normal physical weapons of any kind.
Okay, now why is it that you're going for that?
Because it'll allow me to show off a lot of different weapon variety.
Okay.
This will be Ando. Actually, hang on. How many character elements do I get?
Yeah. Do not name this character after me. Oh God, I know what you're doing, you little prick.
Oh, I don't have enough characters.
Ha ha ha! Fuck
you. You know what?
Just put in all 12 inches. Well, I mean, you're Asian, so it should be more like all 3 inches.
Ha! Got him!
You know what? It's just gonna be Tim.
There are some who call me Tim.
Male. All right. So for class, you can't really go wrong with either one. Warrior is good because as I scroll down, you can see the various stat alignments changing on the left hand side of the screen.
See, I went with Thief because of the Master Key. That's what I went with.
Yeah, so that's usually a good starting character, but Warrior has good all-around stats other than Intelligence and Faith, which isn't important if you're not going to use magic. And they give brief descriptions at the bottom right there that sort of play into it. So, you know, Knight has good vitality, can back up on Faith. Wanderer is, you know, the fucking edgelord who listens to Linkin Park on full blast on the school bus in the morning. Thief, you know, they steal things. But the most important thing is that they come with the Master Key, which is why we're going to pick this class for the character. Because now we get a free gift. Because normally, if you don't pick the Master Key, then you're just doing it wrong. But we can kind of pick whatever we want. So Goddess's Blessing, this is actually a localization error, because this is the direct translation from Japanese, I believe. The item in game is actually called a Divine Blessing, which is the same fucking thing. It does as advertised. And there's only a handful of them in the game. So Black Fire Bombs, you know, they're fire bombs.
Those are really good. Those are really good.
So we're actually not going to go with Black Fire Bombs because I want to do the Twin Humanities, and I'll explain that later. So Physique, we'll just make this guy slim. He's a thief, commoner. Actually, you know what? We're going to give him the Leon hair. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, that's the Leon hair.
Yeah.
So what is he, like a light brown?
Yeah, he's a light brown. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. All right, now we're started.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then, from the dark, they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alright, now we can get into it.
Alright, there we go, boys and girls.
Alright, so the first thing that I do in every playthrough is unequip this piece of shit.
Why is that?
Because, we can actually look at it. So you see that damage rating, 20?
Yeah.
If you press Y, and then you go to your right-hand weapon, tell me what number that is. It's a 20. So your fist does the exact same amount of damage as that sword.
But your fist is faster, right?
Yep, it uses less stamina too. So we're going to pick up this. This is the first key in the game. And we're going to get the fuck out of here. All right,
Now, I see.
go ahead. Sorry.
I think this is one of the things that turned me off of Dark Souls. This game is based on shared knowledge. The game explains basically nothing to you. It's all based on shared knowledge, and I think that is one of the primary things that turned me off of Dark Souls.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's a learning curve. It's pretty steep, and if you
Well,
don't,
it's not a learning curve. There's no learning curve. That's my problem with it. I think that's really, legitimately, I think one of the reasons that it really annoyed me is that there really isn't a learning curve at all. It's just, it's completely based on shared knowledge. You have to have an encyclopedia and a team of lawyers to really understand this game.
I mean, this encounter right here is probably a very good example of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, keep in mind, you can fight those hollow guys back there, but they don't really fight. They don't fight back, so they're not really enemies. They're kind of just pieces of scenery that move. So this is your first introduction to an enemy in the game. It's a boss run.
Yep, and you just got to take off. Now, those guys back there that you skipped, though, they can give you souls, though, right?
They do, but they only give you 20, which is chump change. Not even worth picking up, in my opinion.
Really?
You can get more souls. I don't know why I'm not going to use that shield. You can get more souls from other enemies faster, later. So you're just wasting your time here. You want to get out of here as quickly as possible.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if you can get souls, why would you not get them?
It's diminishing returns because you only get 20 from those guys, and the same amount of time you can spend killing them, you can kill enemies that give you 100 souls, maybe 15 minutes later.
So if you just get behind them, you can do damage, right?
Yep, you can do that to most humanoid enemies and some non-humanoid enemies. It kind of just depends. So
Okay, now you're playing offline right now, right?
Yes, because fuck
Just to be clear.
online players. They're all assholes.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the entire point, is that they're just griefers.
Yes. All right, so if I remember correctly, you just need to stand...
And
No,
Indiana Jones. There it is.
I was too high up on the staircase. It's supposed to be a little bit lower. But, yeah. You just Indiana Jones your way into this building, or room, and you talk to this guy.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Alright, and then we just peace out because he gave us the Estus Flask, which is the rechargeable healing item that you will learn to love and appreciate throughout the entire game.
You know, I think that's another thing that turned me off, is that I hated the controls in this game. I absolutely hate them. Because you have to use, what, right bumper for light attack, right trigger for heavy attack, left bumper for...
Blocking.
Is that your melee?
Left bumper
no.
lets you block if you have a shield, so I'll just demonstrate that real quick.
What's the parry?
So parry is left trigger.
Left trigger, okay, yeah. See, I hate that. I hate that. I can't stand it.
Well, if you could have your own way with it, how would you change the control scheme?
Well, the biggest thing that I don't like is that A, B, X, and Y is your utility items, right? So, I think a lot of it is that I played way too much Arkham Asylum.
Oh, yeah, I could
touched
see
this
that.
game. I think that's really did it for me. So, are you going for parries here?
Just because it looks cool.
Yep, that's a parry right there.
Yeah, these guys are really good to learn basics on parrying because their attacks are really telegraphed.
And the frustrating thing is that I know this is a really good game, and I know it's a game that I should like because I like insanely hard games that are very technical. But goddamn it, dude, I just never got into it, and I just gave up on it.
Let's go ahead and top my health off, because anytime you see these are called fog walls or white lights, whatever you want to call them. Anytime you see this, usually you're either transitioning to a new area or you're getting ready to fight a boss.
Yep, and I know exactly what's about to happen here.
So, this guy.
Death from above.
So what I like to do is I like to do a leaping attack, because you do the actual leaping attack, and then you do the actual plunge attack, so you do bonus damage.
Okay.
It's more useful with weapons with more damage, but it's bonus damage. It's free damage.
Yeah.
And this guy's a joke, especially if you have the knife, because you can bleed him.
Ooh, good dodge. I remember when I first played this game, I kept trying to go toe-to-toe with him the first time you run into him instead of running away.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's just going to take you a really, really, really long time.
Yeah, I wasn't able to kill him. I had to get the drop attack on him.
And the longer, any sort of weapon, the longer you fight that boss, or any boss, the more likely you're going to make mistakes because you're going to get tired.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know if you knew this, but there's an item right over here. Solve Lost Undead. Which is just consumable. It's an item that you can use to get more souls.
Oh, okay. I don't remember if I ever found that, to be honest.
So I don't think we can do anything. Yeah, we can't do anything with it. So we can come back to this area later in the game, and we can trade items at this area with some NPCs.
Really? At the nest?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll just go ahead and give you a little bit of a warning. Brace your ears when we come back here.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
So we are at Firelink Shrine, the hub of this game. You will learn to love this place.
So this is the main hub then, right?
This is the main hub because, for the most part, you can link back to every single major area through here in some way, shape, or form. So,
well, I mean, you had to use an Estus flag, so you're already a bitch.
Yeah, it's because I fucked up the boulder roll. So this bonfire is unique because this bonfire has something called a Firekeeper, which you can talk to her down here. She can't talk, but... So what she can do, she can reinforce your Estus Flask with a special item. And because this is a Firekeeper bonfire, this bonfire already starts at a +1 kindling, which means when you rest at it, you get 10 flasks instead of just restored to 5.
Right, I do remember that. Gotcha.
Yep. So that's with every single Firekeeper bonfire. I think there's 3 or 4 in this game. So we're gonna just kind of explore around the area. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this because humanity. So the way this works is I'm gonna go ahead and pop. So the reason I picked between humanity is because I wanted to go ahead and use it. So you see how that icon in the top left-hand corner of my screen has changed to a 2 from a 0?
Right.
That indicates how much humanity I have to spend at a bonfire.
But what's the point in using that if you're playing offline?
Well, while you're hollow, you can't kindle bonfires. So if you want to kindle a bonfire and get more Estus Flask when you rest at a bonfire, you have to be human. Being human also allows you to participate in invasions, which you know, that's always fun. This is if you're playing online, as well as summon help. Now, in offline mode, there are NPC invasions that I'm actually going to be participating in because in this game they're really easy to deal with. And there's also NPC summons you can summon.
See, here's the thing. I always played this on offline, and I never really understood the point of changing between being human and being dead.
Really, in this game, and this is definitely the game that has the least penalty for it, you can play the whole game dead if you want to. 5 SS classes is enough to get through any area, if you're smart.
That's pretty much how I played it. But that's probably one of the reasons that I kept getting my ass kicked too.
Yes,
Oh, you got firebomb.
Yes, it definitely makes it easier to have 10 flasks instead of 5.
Well, yeah.
As well as being
I
able
would
to
assume
summon
so.
additional NPC helpers, which they don't really make that much of a difference. They're more of meat shields.
Out of curiosity, do you receive less or more damage when you're human, or?
No, there's no difference. It is literally just an aesthetic thing, and then online functionality and interacting with bonfires. So we're gonna go ahead and talk to this guy.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
So he just gave us a copper coin, which we can use for something later. We can't do anything with it right now, but we can use it for something later.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
So, this is your very early game introduction into miracles. He's a vendor for them, so we're going to go ahead and say yes.
Then first, a covenant with the gods.
So this just means you join his covenant, which... a covenant is just a faction that you can join.
Now, what's the point of actually joining a faction?
So joining his faction lets you purchase miracles from him.
Now, let me share my miracles. Only
As we discover more covenants, I can explain in more detail, because it'll make more sense when we have context.
and your faith.
Basically, being parts of covenants gives you access to things you wouldn't have if you weren't a part of them. Some of them are really, 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 really fucking good. And other ones are kind of just meant for PvP. A lot of them are PvP based, which those ones don't really matter.
What is this, a Todd Howard game now?
Yeah. So we can go ahead and learn a gesture, which is shrug. It's one of my favorite ones, and I'll go ahead and show it to you in a minute. So anytime we leave his covenant by joining another covenant or whatever, we can always come back to him and enter it if you want to. I mean, his covenant kind of sucks. But anyway. So if you go to his inventory, these are all the miracles he sells, but we're not going to really go into this. But these are all the ones you have access to available in the game. He'll also sell you a talisman if you don't have one, but you can get one for free at Firelink Shrine. So we're going to go ahead and leave.
Again.
Because
So he's predominantly useless.
for this playthrough, yes.
Faith.
Okay.
And at this point in the game, you're not going to have enough souls. Like, as soon as you get to Firelink, you're not going to have enough souls to purchase anything from him worthwhile.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can always come back later. You can get more souls. I mean, you can grind forever in the beginning area and buy everything, but that'll take you a while. So another soul.